Hey, I'm Prince Dearlove. This is a ChixxFlix podcast, and I am on planet Earth, from planet Earth. We got a great show for you guys. Honestly, I got a great show for you guys. Elon and we're gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about gays adopting babies. Like, how do you feel about that? Personally, I feel like it's society's fault when that does happen. When these kids grow up without no fault, no mom. You know. We're going to talk about men not approaching women or we might talk about that because I think I covered that in my last episode. I don't know if I want to talk about it more, but and we're also going to talk about Dr. Umar because I mean he's just flat out saying he's broke now, and it's like, are we ever going to get to school? No, we're not, because it really feels like it's just a big scam, and he's just been exposed too many times. If he's not smashing a stripper, he's doing something else foolish. Um, so we're going to see right now, but we're going to start with We're gonna start with this Dr. Umar stuff. Um, so Dr. Umar is flat out saying he's broke. Like, it's bad. Dr. Umar is flat out saying he's broke and he has no oh my God, bro. It's so bad. Let's see this video. Dr. Umar is flat out saying he's broke and he has no money.
But right now, I don't have any money because my account was frozen by my bank because someone has been trying to hack into my account, hack into FDMG Academy account. So the FDMG Academy account is frozen. My personal account is also frozen. That means we're going to lapse on our utility bills. We're going to lapse on our internet bill. We're going to lapse on a lot of our bills at FDMG.
He's saying he's not going to be able to pay bills for a school that is not even open. That school, he bought those two schools 2018, 2019. It's 2025. The school's still not open. There's still not kids in it. But you're over here complaining about you not paying the bills in that school. And it's like, is the rumors true of him just living in the school? Like, he's such a scammer. Like, there'll never be kids in that school ever.
This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th, only to discover that I could not log into my account. I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. They had no record.
Yo, does anybody believe that the bank told him this? I believe what happened is the same thing that happened the couple of years back with the Cash App thing, whereas he's being reported for scamming, right, and fraud, so they just closed his account. That's what I believe happened. I don't believe anything this man is saying. And also, this man looks very sick. Dr. Umar looks like he's on drugs. Like, he does not look like a well man. I mean, he's already fat as hell. He's already a deadbeat dad. Plus, now you're saying the bank closed your accounts for the school donations. Like, yo,
Of my account. But right now, I don't.
just nasty, bro. A nasty old man. Dr. Umar is a deadbeat. He don't take care of his kids. He got two baby mamas. He's never been married. He's grayed up, fat, and now he's saying the bank closed his bank accounts. So now he can no longer receive donations, and he's also broke. Just nasty, bro. Like, nasty old man.
The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank. And the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen. And I was told that there is an investigation.
Yeah, it's been frozen because you're being reported for scamming. That's why it's been frozen. That's why. I don't believe that. If it wasn't for the scamming, then they would have just had him transfer the money from the bank account to another card. They would have had him do that. They only don't do that when you're scamming or when it seems to be scamming or some fraud behavior. And that's what we've been accusing him for years. He's just talking about opening school for over a decade now. No school.
Into my personal account as well as the school account. I asked them, was this due to suspicion of any fraud on my part? I was told that it was not due to suspicion of any fraud on my part, but I was told that it was due to suspicion of fraudulent activity. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. Brothers and sisters, if you have sent a donation to FDMG, let's give it until the end of the month to see if this gets cleared up.
People need to stop sending this man money. You keep sending this man money and there's no school, and now he's saying he's broke. Stop sending Dr. Umar money. He is scamming the community for money. And it sucks to even say that. But why do you even I wouldn't even trust this guy with nothing. 2 baby mamas, doesn't take care of neither kids. He's so fat, never been married. I would never trust Dr. Umar. Like, no more giving this man money. He is now coming out and saying he's flat out broke.
Have given me no definitive timeline as to when they're in the bank that I
just nasty, bro. Nasty old man.
Investigation would conclude. They told me they sent me a letter to this point on July the 10th, the day that I left for South Africa. I was told that the timeline of suspicious activity was June 25th to July the 10th. That's when Medea went public.
Yeah, we don't get anyone to watch no more. Now he's accusing YouTubers of meddling with his bank. No, dude, you're a fraud and a scam. There's no school, and that's why your accounts got shut down. And now he's telling us he's flat out broke and he's begging for money. And he's looking like he's on drugs. Look at this man's face. Fat and look like he's on drugs. Dr. Umar looks like he's malnourished. Nasty old man, yo. No school, 2 baby mamas, no wife, grayed up, fat, and look like you on drugs. And you're broke. Congrats, Dr. Umar. Just nasty. The community needs to stop giving this man money. Honestly, stop giving this man money. There is no school. He just purchased 2 buildings, and that's it. There'll never be kids in there. You can't rely on donations to pay faculty, the lunch ladies, the teachers, himself. You can't rely on donations for that, bro. At some point, we gotta stop giving this man money. This man is not in neither of his kids' lives, and we're giving him money. Why are we doing that? Dr. Umar is really like the average hood dude. Anyway, I covered that for Dr. Umar. That's all I want to say about that, because he's coming out now and saying he's flat out broke. It's like, bro, why are we giving you money? Why is the community giving you money? Like, why are we doing that? Anyway, let's talk about this. So there's a gay couple who did this video, right? And they have the baby they adopted. And, they're doing that every year birthday thing. I don't even have to really play it, but I just want to speak on this. And, like, when you see a gay couple adopting a baby, I can't even blame them for doing that. It's really on the society that this baby is in, really. Now, is this a good thing? No, this is not a good thing. Two gay men adopting a baby. Do I see it as necessarily a good thing? I don't. I wish the kid had a mom. The kid will never know what it's like to have a mom. The kid will only know what it's like to have 2 men as parents, And this is on the society. This is on us. This kid deserves a mom. Will it ever experience a mom? No, because 2 gay guys adopted the baby because the parents gave it up for adoption. We don't know the situation of the mom or the dad, but the baby's given up for adoption. If you don't want this to happen, you got to make a better society. Like, it is what it is. I can't blame these 2 guys for adopting the baby. They're doing what they want to do, and if there's some babies to adopt, they're going to be able to adopt them. If you want this to stop, then you got to make a better society. That's just what it has to be. And then people want to complain about birth rates. I don't mind birth rates going down. This kid will never know what it's like to have a mom as a parent. This kid will only know what it's like to have 2 men as parents, and that's on the society. That's the society's fault. I can't blame these men for adopting a baby if there's babies to adopt. So I just want to speak on that real quick. Like, I can't blame them for doing that. I did want to talk about this whites only community in Arkansas. So there's a whites only community being built in Arkansas, and like people that are white are mad about this. And I'm like, why are you mad? There should be no non-white people mad about this. If white people are telling you, hey, I don't want to be near you, and I want to live on my own, and I just don't want to be near anybody that's not white, let them go. Let them go to Arkansas and build that land. I hope they succeed. It's kind of weird and it's annoying that y'all are trying to be near white people and saying, hey, they don't want you to be near them. By the way, they've been saying this for a while. Just because you sign a bill or sign some laws for no discrimination doesn't mean you're okay with mixing cultures and mixing people. So for me, like if white people want to start an only whites community in Arkansas, let them do that. Let them go. It beats having people around you that don't want to be around you. Why would you want to be near white people that don't want to be around you? Let them go to Arkansas and have their whites only community. I don't see no problem with this. If you're brown, if you're black, if you're Mexican, if you're Hispanic, why would you care about this? Why would you want to be in proximity to people that don't want to be near you? They should be able to do that. Now, for the people that don't mind being near everybody else, we can stay in the cities and we can stay in the suburbs. Let these white people go to Arkansas and do their thing. Fine. You want to go and be around all white people? Go ahead and do that in Arkansas. I don't know why anybody's mad about this. And they have a right to. If they buy the property and own it, it's private property. You do what you want with it. I see no problem with this all white community in Arkansas. No problem at all. No problem. There should be no pushback to this. They also, the guy that's building it, he talked about birth rates. White women are not having kids right now. So they even feel more scared and more threatened. They feel like their culture is dying. They feel like white people are getting genocide just because white women are choosing to not have babies. Just because white women are going straight to the abortion clinic and popping birth controls pills like Tic Tacs. So they feel like they're going extinct. They feel like they're being genocided all because white women are choosing to not have white babies. So my thing is, if you want to go to Arkansas and have a whites only community and that'll make you feel safe and stop bitching, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't care. And that's how all people should be taking this. Like um nobody should be like having an issue with this or something like that. Like no one should be having an issue with this at all. If white people want to go to Arkansas and have an only white community, they should be able to do that, and we should respect that and let them go. Everybody else that want to stay around everybody and don't have a problem with mixing and being together, we'll stay where we at. I just don't get it. Like all this pushback to white people wanting an all white community, I just don't get it. It's weird. It's weird. Like I'll say this too. I'll say this too. I um I actually like how blatant it is. I like how blatant white people are being about how much they don't want to be around non-white people. I like it. You know why I like it? Because for a long time, black Republicans and black conservatives, which is the same thing, basically would say, oh, y'all black people, y'all play the race card all the time. Y'all play the race card. But look at these white people. They're saying they want to live in an all-white community away from you. They're not saying we want to live in a white community with black Republicans. No, no, no. They said all white. So you coons like Candace Owens and Brandon B. Tatum, you can see that you still aren't accepted. You still aren't chosen. Because these white people are going to Arkansas and they're saying, hey, I don't even want to be around you coons, you bootlickers, you ass kissers. They're not saying, hey, we want to live around all white people and we want to live around black Republicans that take up for us and lick our ass. No, no, no. They said they want to live in an all white community. So I love that they're being openly blatant about how much they don't want to be around anyone that isn't white. I love it. Because for a long time, black Republicans would say, oh, y'all playing the race card. They would tell other black people this. Now it's clear as day what the position of white people are. And obviously it's not all white people, but you get what I mean. So I love this. Um, and nobody should feel like They're not harming anybody. They're not harming anybody if they want to go live in an all-white community. They're not harming anybody. They're not attacking nobody. They're just simply saying, hey, I don't want to live around non-whites. I want to go live in an all-white community, and that's what they're going to do. Um, so yeah, that's what I got to say about this. Um, Elon and Trump, right? Do I even want to get into that? I'm so tired. This might be a short show. This might be a short episode because I'm so tired. But I want to say this. You have like, yeah. What am I gonna say? Do I want to get into that right now? I think I'm gonna get into it. Or do I want to get into the men not approaching women no more? I'll start with the men not approaching women. So there's a video going around of a woman complaining about men not approaching her. I think I said it in my last video, but I want to say some new points this time. And like, yeah, men are not approaching women in person. 45% of men have never, from 18 to 25, haven't approached women in person. You know why? Because you don't want to deal with the bull, bro. We would rather get rejected online. At least it's less of a hassle. You go approach a woman in person, you get her number, you go back home, you might hear her up. You hear her up, she might not text you back, or if she does text you back, it'll be for a day, and then she ghosts you. Like, who wants to deal with that? All that pressure of going in person. I'd rather just stay online, send a DM, and not deal with what comes with that in person. Like, you put in all that effort and you don't get through, it's just annoying. So yes, men are not approaching women in person. Men are not approaching women in person romantically, especially because women keep saying they don't want to be bothered. Women keep saying, hey, they don't want to be bothered by men and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, why would you approach a woman in person? That's why men from 18 to 25, 45% haven't approached a woman in person ever. Because women keep saying, hey, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be approached. I don't want to be um, approached by any man. When really, you know what it is? It's not that women don't want to be approached by men. It's that they don't want to be approached by ugly men, and they find most men to be ugly. That's what it is. So they just go ahead and say, you know what? I don't want to be approached by any man. But really, it's I don't want to be approached by men that I don't like. Men that are ugly, and I find most men to be ugly. That's what it is. But they're not going to say that. You know, they're not going to say, I don't want to be approached by most men because they're ugly. They're just going to say, oh, I don't want to be approached by men at all. So it's like, you know, why would men be approaching in person? Personally, me, I'd rather do it online. It's a lot less of a headache, man. A lot less of a headache. And if you get rejected, cool, you just swipe. Keep swiping. So it's a lot easier. So it makes sense that men aren't approaching women. It just makes sense. You know? A lot of men are saying, and like, it just it just makes sense. Um, it just makes sense. You know, and I want to say the thing about Trump and Elon. It's important to remember that these guys only care about your vote and they don't care about you. And when I say you, I'm talking about black men and women. I'm talking about black people. Elon posted on Twitter today a clip of a group of black people apparently hitting this like white couple or white people, and he's basically pointing out like, oh, these guys should be put in prison for aggravated assault. And he only does this when it comes to black versus white. He doesn't do this like white versus black, like a group of white people beating on a black person. He never does that, right? We have no idea what happened in the beginning of the video for this incident to occur, but we do see a bunch of black people, white people fighting or whatever, right? And it's important to remember that these people on the right, Elon, Trump, Alex Jones, even reposted the clip, and he's pointing out this violence of black versus white. It's important to remember that they are targeting you, and they don't care about even Trump, right? Trump put the Central Park Five, those five black men in the newspaper back in the day, and he wanted them beheaded. He wanted them unalived, right? 5 black men. He's never done 5 white men. These people are not on your side, and they are always targeting you, even when they're on the top, at the top, like the president, right? So I just want to remind you guys. That's what I want to say about that. I want to remind you guys that they're always targeting you, and they're not really for you. They're not really for you. See, what Republicans figured out is if we can turn down racism a little bit, we can get some of that black vote. That's the only reason Trump won, other than Kamala being horrible. Republicans realize, yo, if we can, and Trump is not really a Republican, but I'm gonna still call him that because he's on the right. If Republicans realize, hey, if we can just turn down some of that racism, we can get black men and black women to vote for us, right? That's what they realized. So that's what they're doing. But that doesn't mean they're on your side. Just because Republicans are telling you, hey, come vote over here, doesn't mean they're on your side. They just want your vote. When they're done looking at other groups of people, Mexicans, Jews, they always turn their eyes back on black people. They always say, hey, you're the problem. That's what Elon and Trump can agree on, and every Republican can agree on. They can all agree on that, hey, black people are the problem. That's what they all can agree on. So no, they're not on your side. They just like your vote and what you can do for them, but they don't really like you a lot of the times. A lot of the times. So I just want to say that it's just bad. It's just bad. You see your people getting like hoodwinked, tricked, you know. I also want to say something about this too, because I had a debate earlier, and it was about religion, and it was about specifically Christianity. Yo, as a people, we gotta let go of Christianity. It's done. It's tired. It's false stories. We gotta let go of Christianity. Okay? Christianity doesn't go into depth about anything regarding spirituality. Christianity is like a caricature of real spirituality. It doesn't talk about astral projection. It doesn't talk about meditation. It doesn't talk about things that your soul can do, your consciousness, lucid dreaming. It doesn't talk about none of these things, right? It doesn't talk about what your soul can do and how it works. Christianity has to be let go. It has to be. Okay? It doesn't go in depth about any of these things. As a matter of fact, it calls it evil. Christianity calls astral projection evil. Christianity calls meditation evil. Christianity calls witchcraft evil. Christianity calls magic evil. Christianity would call lucid dreaming evil. Like, we have to let go of these religions. These religions are holding everyone back and not revealing real truths about yourselves. We have to let it go. I had this debate earlier, and it's like, why are you doing this? And especially if you're black. Like, if they were pushing this on us when we were slaves, don't you think something is wrong here? Like, don't you think something is wrong here if they were pushing Christianity on us when we were slaves? I also think Christianity isn't good for white people either, because it's just really not, it's not nothing new you can learn. It teaches the same stories over and over again that are more than likely false. It has to be let go sooner or later. I don't know. I just want to say that, like, it has to be let go sooner or later. I'd rather read a bunch of spiritual books, and I'd rather read literally about every religion and take out what I like and read spiritual books and meditate than be in a religion. I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that. I mean, even Muslims, right? Even the Muslim religion, like, what is it, Hindu? Like, when you see a Muslim woman, do you not see an oppressed woman? Like, she's covered in a blanket in 80-degree weather. It's Florida weather. It's 90 degrees, and this woman is covered in a blanket. She's in the pool in a blanket. Her whole body is covered except for her eyes. You're telling me God wants that for her? You're telling me God is demanding for women to be covered in blankets. These Muslim women are covered in blankets in 80-degree weather in the pool. And you're telling me God wants that for them? You're telling me this is what God wants for them. Don't you see this is a scam? Like, this is just a scam. You can be spiritual without being religious. You know that. It doesn't go hand in hand. You can be spiritual without being religious. You don't need a bunch of rules, and you don't need a bunch of false stories from the Bible or whatever Muslims get their stuff from, the Quran or whatever. Like, you don't need that. You're telling me God wants women to be covered in blankets in 80-degree weather, and that'll make him happy or her happy. You're telling me when you see a Muslim woman covered in a blanket in 80-degree weather, you don't see an oppressed woman? You're telling me when you see a Muslim woman covered in the pool, you don't see an oppressed woman, an abused woman, a brainwashed woman? You're telling me you don't see that? You're telling me God would want her like that, where only her eyes uncovered? I don't know. It's just is is I don't like it at all, and I hate to call it dumb, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It only benefits the men, really. These religions, a lot of the time, it only benefits the men. Like, if you're a Muslim woman, being a Muslim woman, that only benefits your man. Your man. Like, of course, he wants you covered up because you have power. You're a woman. Men are going to come up to you, offer you dates, offer you vacations, right? Or maybe they're not even coming up to you. They're going to look at you though, right? They would offer you vacations. They would offer you dates if they see you online without that blanket covering you as a Muslim woman. So really, it only benefits men for a woman to be Muslim. How does that benefit you? You don't need religion to be spiritual, and you damn sure don't need to be a Muslim woman to be spiritual or to know yourself. Anyway, that's all I got to say for today. I'm Prince J Love. This is ChixxFlix from Planet Earth. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, follow the Twitch, follow the Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube. I am on TikTok, Prince Dear Love, so remember to follow that too.